Your full name. My name is Wayne Stevens. Where were your parents born? My father was born in Niobrara, Nebraska. My mother was born in Stillwater, Illinois. Where and how did you grow up? My father was in the Air Force, so I grew up in a lot of different places. From Taiwan to several states here in the United States, France, Germany. With whom, who raised you, who influenced your choices in life? I was with my parents until I went off to college. I guess my father was one of the biggest influences in my life, because after I graduated from college, I joined the Air Force, just like my dad had done. What did you do after getting your education, your profession, further education, etc.? Like I said, I joined the military. I spent 23 years in the Air Force. I retired as an E7 Master Sergeant, and I didn't really get any further education as far as a formal degree is concerned, but I did receive education within the military to further my career as a military non-commissioned officer. What about your private life, married, kids? I am married. I have one child, daughter, who's 16 and a half, going on 25. My wife is from Russia. I met her on the internet while I was stationed in Germany. I have 3 children by a previous marriage, 2 daughters and 1 son. What was the best period in your life? I guess I would have to say when my children were born. I was fortunate enough for 2 out of the first 3 births to be in the delivery room with my wife. And in fact, on the second birth, the doctor surprised me by handing the scissors to me to cut the umbilical cord, which was kind of frightening in a way. What was my greatest achievement in life? I'm not sure what I would answer to that question, because I think I'm still achieving things. I don't know that I've reached my greatest achievement yet. Maybe to reach the age of 90 like my mother, that would be a pretty great achievement. What childhood dreams did you implement? Well, I had a dream of being a pilot in the Air Force, but unfortunately that did not come true. But I was satisfied with what came about. I kind of took things as they came. I lived my life to the fullest, and I think probably my one dream that did become a reality was to have a good family and to be a good father. My greatest regret was not being a pilot. Your favorite saying or quote? Again, I'm not sure what I have. I'm not sure what my favorite saying or quote is. Growing up, what were things you didn't have but wanted? Well, I was fortunate. My father was an officer. Like I said, we traveled around all over the world. I can't think of really anything that I didn't have that I actually wanted. I remember some Christmases where I wished I'd gotten some of the things that my brothers got instead of what I did get, but I can't think of anything that I didn't already have. My parents were very, very giving, very loving, so. Do you consider yourself a role model? Why? Who is your role model? I'm not sure that I am a role model. I guess my son, from my wife's previous marriage, thinks I'm his role model because he has told me several times that he's learned a great deal from me, although I don't really know what I passed on to him. I guess just general knowledge. My role model, Probably my mother and father. They shaped the way I was headed. They gave me the opportunity to be what I wanted to be. They didn't try to restrict me in any way. They didn't try to force me into doing anything. I think my mother probably would have wanted me to become a doctor, but she didn't say, yeah, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta be a doctor. What book, movie, or song changed your outlook on life? That's another good question. I'm not sure what I would answer to that. I think George Orwell's 1984 kind of made me stop and think about things. Movies, I guess I'm kind of a romantic. I like musicals, like Sound of Music and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if it really changed my outlook on life. I've always had a pretty positive outlook. I've always thought that I could, like I said, my parents allowed me to do pretty much what I wanted to do. I'm very positive that I would never become a thief or do anything illegal, but I don't know whether movies, books, or songs had anything to do with that. What are your hobbies or interests? I like woodworking. I don't get to do it very often because my wife is kind of upset every time I buy a new tool. She gets very upset. But then she has me doing projects that require me to get another tool to do the project. So, you know, it's kind of a lose situation in a lot of cases. I also like to play video games, which my wife doesn't care for too much because she says I'm on the computer too long and too often, and I don't get anything else done. The best advice I've been given is do your best. What principle is the main principle in your life? Just be a good person, treat others the way you would like to be treated. What question would you like to answer that we didn't ask? I can't think of anything right offhand, so I'll just pass on that one. Do you believe in life after death? I'm not real sure. I'm not a Hindu, so I don't, I don't follow their principles that if I die I can come back as a bull or a rat or a pig or a dog or some other person. So I'm not real sure. I believe that there's something out there that's guiding our lives. I'm not real sure that I even believe in God as a quote God, but I do believe there's something out there. What and who supports you in your life? Right now, my parents are both deceased, so I don't have any support from that side. But my children support me, and definitely my wife. What 3 pieces of advice would you give to future generations? We can use some of these trite expressions like be all you can be. That was one the military used for a while. Do the best that you can, and don't be afraid to try different things. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be? $1 million. I wish I had the things that I need to make my life the best life it could be, my family included in that, of course, and good health especially for my daughter. Today is February 2017, and we are in South Shore Library.